Hey everyone, it's Nordic here. Welcome back to yet again another Tier Rank Tuesday, where today we have another special topic that we're going to tier rank. We are going to be tier ranking every single NHL team's highest paid contract and highest paid player. So I spent last night going through every single NHL team, looking at their highest paid deal based off of AAV, and this is what I came up with. We have nearly 40 players that we're going to talk about because some teams had some ties. So as you can tell, we have a lot of players listed here, almost 40, exclude Sean Couturier because I made an error while I was midway through this video. But we have six columns here, and they are terrific contract, which is at the top, great contract, good contract, solid contract, bad contract, and then horrible contract. So we're going to roll through all of these here. We have them in alphabetical order. Again, ignore Sean Couturier. I can't remove him from this. But regardless, let's get into it here. So starting off with Anaheim's highest paid contract, that is Jacob Trouba. He's coming in at an $8 million AAV. That's as of like a couple days ago. Trouba is their top contract. It's really kind of surprising when I was looking at it. I'm like, wow, Trouba's their highest paid deal. For Trouba, I'm going to be honest, he's going in bad. I don't think for somebody of Trouba's caliber should be getting paid $8 million. I don't think he brings the defensive game that a $8 million defenseman should be paid. Again, your comparables, with that money, you're making around the amount that basically Quinn Hughes makes, essentially. You're looking at even like someone like Cale Makar. Even looking at the highest paid deals that are on my sheet right here, Roman Josi, he only makes like a little bit less than. Dougie Hamilton as well. Like, he doesn't live up to that hype to be a $8 million defenseman, in my opinion. So he's going in bad. David Pastrnak. Pastrnak is on a 8-year, $11.25 million deal. He's going in great. I'm sorry. I know there are going to be some people who look at so far this year and say, oh, no, he's not a good contract. But I get it. He is getting paid 11.2. But when you look in terms of Pastrnak, he lives up to that hype. So I think it's a great contract. I think he lives up to that hype and more. So he is in the greats of that deal. For Rasmus Dahlin, Dahlin's interesting. $11 million he gets paid. He gets paid significantly more than some of the comparables that I would compare him to, like guys like Roman Josi. Again, like those, he's the biggest comparable for me when you're looking in terms of these guys on this list. For Dahlin, he's going in good. I don't think it's like a over-the-top great deal because I still think he's a little bit overpaid, a tad bit overpaid. But I still think it's still a good contract when you look in terms of what Dahlin does for the Sabres. Jonathan Huberdeau on a $10.5 million deal. I'm sorry, it's going in here. I get Huberdeau has had a good start this year, but when you look in terms of the other players on this list, like 10.5, you're in Barkov territory, you're in Carlson territory, you're in like the Kucherov territory, the Eichel, the Pettersson territory. He's not better than those players. So he is going in horrible for me, in my opinion. Next up then, Hurricane Sebastian Aho on a $9.75 million deal. He's not terrific. He's going in great. I think Aho, he's making less than 10, which I think is great for somebody like him. And I think that's actually, again, it lines up to a great contract. He brings a lot of value to Carolina. He's their number one center. I think that he has been awesome for them. I think him getting paid under 9.5 is arguably a steal. I'm not putting him in terrific just yet because I have my few contracts where I'm going to put them in terrific. And there's only going to be a couple of them. But I think overall, when you look in terms of, with what Carolina has done, I think Aho under 10, I think is impressive, even though it's only like $250K less. Seth Jones for the Blackhawks gets paid approximately $9.5 million. He is going here. I might move him down to here, but I don't think Jones, I'm going to be honest, I think Jones is overpaid, but he isn't like a bad player by any means. He's not a bad player saying that. He still is a good defenseman. He's actually put up some good numbers with Chicago with how bad they've been, but it's still an overpay. It's still a bad contract. You know, you could look at like him as the player. Actually, now that I think about it, he should be in here. Like when you look in terms of, yes, Jones isn't a bad player, but it's a horrible contract that he's getting paid. It's a massive overpay. Jones should be getting paid maybe 6 or 7, not 9.5. So I think when we're looking at it in terms of that, he should be in horrible contract, and I can totally get behind that for sure. Next up, Nathan MacKinnon is on a $12.6 million deal. I'm sorry, he's going in here. He's going in here. I think MacKinnon could have so much more in another team. Getting him at 12.6 with the value that he brings, he's a Hart Trophy winner. I think you have to put him in terrific. I might change that, but I think as of right now, he has to go in terrific for me, just with how he's been for Colorado. And I know that he gets paid a ton, but he could be paid way more on another team. Like if he went to the open market 2 years ago, like he could have gotten maybe even like 15 or 16. Like I'm being honest. So MacKinnon is going in terrific for me. Next up then, Zach Werenski of Columbus. Werenski's going in good. I think he gets paid a little bit more than I would pay him. He's 9.58. I don't think that he's necessarily worth basically $10 million, but I think he still gets paid on a good AAV, on a good deal for Columbus. So I'm going to stick him in good for now. Tyler Seguin of the Dallas Stars on a $9.85 million deal. Seguin I'm also going to put in good. I think that Seguin is towards the bottom of good. I may move him down to solid here in a second. But I think for what Seguin brings to Dallas, even though I think he's overpaid a little bit, I think that he still brings that value. Again, would I make him the highest paid player on Dallas right now? No. But I think he still is a good player for the Dallas. Actually, yeah, I'm going to move him down to solid. I think you're looking in terms, you have to look at it in terms of what they bring to the deal, and I don't think Seguin brings a $9 million deal. He's still a good player, but I don't think he brings that money. So again, contradicting myself as per usual. I even tried to do this before, and I was still disagreeing with myself. I get comments about that all the time, where like, oh, you're contradicting yourself all the time in these videos, but I get it. But like I even try and do it on my own before this, and I'm still contradicting myself. Again, these lists are still kind of difficult for me, to be honest. Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings, he's getting paid $8.7 million. In my eyes, I think that's top of good, bottom of great. I'm gonna put it in good for now. I think Larkin brings that value and more with how much he gets paid. So I think right now he's on a good deal. He could get like 9 or 9.5. I don't see him getting any higher than that, though. I think that he probably sticks around there. So Larkin in good right now, I think is fine with me. Edmonton Oilers, their highest paid deal. Now I got to put a little bit of an asterisk next to this. There's going to be 2 examples of this. This is one of them, where a player is currently the highest paid player, but in the future. Draisaitl in September signed a $14 million deal with the Oilers, and the other example is Travis Konecny. They both don't get paid on their deals until 2026 or 2025-26. So again, it's a little bit of an asterisk, but I think I'm going to roll with it here. Draisaitl is on a terrific deal. I think if you're going to put MacKinnon up here, you got to put Draisaitl up here too. I think Draisaitl could get even more, maybe 16 or 17 million as well, like I said for MacKinnon. So getting him again, even though he is on a $14 million deal, I think it is a terrific contract that they have Draisaitl on. Again, I may change that, as I've said multiple times. Alexander Barkov. Barkov's on a $10 million deal. He's going here. The fact that Barkov gets paid $10 million for what he brings to the Florida Panthers, the two-way center, the unbelievably underrated player he's been for years, was for years, and just how he's been as a player, he has to go in terrific. He is a terrific player with a terrific contract. If Barkov signed a deal today, he gets paid maybe 12 or 13. I am not ashamed of saying that. So Barkov there for me, I think putting him in terrific is the right way to go. Now, Sergei Bobrovsky, this is one of those ties. Like, there are a couple instances here where you're going to see a tie between the highest paid deal. This is one of them. For Bob, it's going in good. I think when you look at his comparables, he makes slightly more than them, like Saros and Swayman. But I think for someone like Bob, he's a Stanley Cup champion. He's carried them to the finals in 2 seasons. Again, I think he's worth the $10 million, but I don't think that he's underpaid in that deal. I'm just being honest. I don't think he's underpaid in that deal. So, Bobrovsky there is going in good. Kevin Fiala of the LA Kings gets paid on a $7.875 million deal. It's going in solid. I don't think it's like a insanely good contract, in my opinion, but I still think that it is a solid deal. Again, I don't really know if Fiala should be getting paid that much money. I don't really know if he lives up to that hype necessarily as a basically $8 million player. But again, I think he's in that column with Seguin where I would take a little bit less. I still think he's a solid deal. It's not like a bad contract, but again, I'm putting him in solid for now. Kirill Kaprizov, he's going in terrific. He makes $9 million. Like, you cannot sit here and say to me that Kaprizov should not make any more than anybody below him. Like, there are some players, like Huberdeau makes more than him, Seth Jones makes more than him, Werenski makes more than him, Dahlin makes more than him. He's better than all those players. He is 100% he's a top 10 player in the NHL, arguably top 5 right now. He probably has, if we're looking in terms of overall with the highest paid deals, he may have the best contract in the entire NHL. And it might not even be close either. If we're being completely honest, he might have the best deal in the NHL right now. Next up, Patrik Laine for the Montreal Canadiens. For Laine, when you're looking in terms of the broad perspective, I know there are going to be people who are mad at this, but I gotta put him in solid. I think that for me, when you're looking at Laine, he hasn't lived up to his deal overall. And I know in Montreal there's a lot of hype, and he has been good so far, but I can't really justify putting him any higher. At least the guys above him, have lived up to the hype in their deal. Laine, I don't think really has throughout his entire time. And again, you could argue, he's been with Columbus and this and that, but so far in his contract, he just hasn't been good enough for me to be accepting of that, in my opinion. Next up, Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators. Josi gets paid $9.05 million. I think Yosi's going in great. For somebody who is getting paid the amount of money of a Norris finalist or Norris winning defenseman, I think he's got to go in great. Again, I don't think he's getting paid so low in money that it's insane, it's a terrific contract. I still think that you can make a case for him getting paid the amount of money he is, but you could make a case of him making more. So again, we could argue day and day here, every day, all day, all night. But again, I think that for right now, I'm going to put Josi in great. I don't think it's a terrific deal or a steal. I think it's still a great contract, though, for what he brings. Dougie Hamilton, he makes slightly less than Josi at $9 million. I think he's going in good. I don't think that he is the best contract. $9 million for Hamilton. He's been injured a little bit. I think he has lived up to the hype, but he hasn't been exceeding the expectations like crazy. I don't think that he's been doing that with the $9 million AAV that he has. So I'm going to put Hamilton in good for now. I may change that, but right now I think I'm going to stick with him being in good. I think that he's lived up to it, but hasn't really exceeded on beyond that, in my opinion. Bo Horvat of the New York Islanders on a $8.5 million deal. Hear me out. No, I'll put him right here. I was going to put him in solid, but I'm going to put him right here. I think that Horvat is their first-line center. But I think when he was signed to his deal, he was on a career year. It was when he got traded to the Islanders. And the Islanders really didn't have a choice. They either sign him to this deal or they let him walk. That was really their only option they had. So I think for Horvat being on 8.5 isn't bad. I feel like he's lived up to it slightly. But I think, again, you can make a real case for him being down here. I don't think he's worth the amount of money that he is getting paid. But I still think he has lived up to the deal in a way, if that makes any sense. Next up then, New York Rangers highest paid deal is Artemi Panarin. That may surprise some people because Shesterkin was just signed, but he's still not even the highest paid player. Panarin makes 11.64. For me, that's a great deal. I think that's a great contract. Again, if we're basing it off of regular season, it's a great deal. If we're basing it off of playoffs as well, I think that you could make a case for him being down here. But I think for what Panarin brings to the Rangers, for what he has done for them the last couple of years, I think he's fitting of being in good. So I'm going to put him in good for now, or not good, great for now. And I think that, again, I think he's fitting with the guys he's in on this list here. Tim Stützle. Stützle is on a $8.35 million deal. Listen, he's going right here. I think Stützle is on a great, really valuable contract. He has nearly scored 100 points. He's on a tear this year already. Again, last year was a down year for his standards, but I think for what he gets paid, he lives up to the hype and more, and it makes it just such a great contract for the Ottawa Senators. Travis Konecny. Konecny makes $8.7 million, but he makes that $8.7 million next season. So he's one of those examples like with Leon Draisaitl. For Konecny, I'm going to put him here. I don't think that it's a good contract. I don't think that it's a bad contract. I think it's in the middle. I think to keep Konecny around, you had to pay that price, in my opinion. And I think that, again, he's never had an 80-point season. He's going to get paid 8.7. He's never had an 80-point year. I don't like that. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. So I'm going to put him in solid for now. I don't think that I don't think that he's on a good deal, but I still think he's on a great deal for what he brings to the Flyers. So solid right now with the guys he's alongside with, I think is fine with me. Erik Karlsson of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Karlsson gets paid $10 million. Surprisingly, the highest paid guy on this team. He's in bad. I think Karlsson brings the offense, yes, but the defense is just not good enough for me to put him anywhere higher on this list. I still think he's a good player. He brings good offense, again, as I said, but for what he gets paid, it's a bad deal, in my opinion. Logan Couture gets paid $8 million. I'm gonna put him in solid. Couture's been injured, though. You can make a case for him being down here. I'm gonna put him here, though, at least for now. Like, when you look in terms of what... I think he's done a great job with San Jose overall. Recently, though, he's just been injured and hasn't been able to stay in the lineup, which really sucks. But again, he is their highest paid player, and it's only $8 million. It's not like it's like an insane deal. Like, it's not like he's getting paid Huberdeau money just to sit on the sidelines. So, overall, I'm not, like, too angry about that. But overall, I'm going to put Couture in solid for now. Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn gets paid $7.35. He's going in good. For me, I'll put him right here. I think he's on a good deal. I think he lives up to the hype of a $7 million defenseman. Some may even argue more. The fact that he's getting paid only 7.3, I think is pretty awesome for the amount of money that he gets, for what he does. I think it's a very good contract that Seattle has there with Dunn for sure, so I'm going to put him in good. Tie here. Actually, we have two ties coming up here between St. Louis and Tampa. Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou both get paid $8.125. Kyrou is going in good. Thomas is going in great. I think Kyrou, you can make an argument for him being up here. He gets paid $8.8 million. I think he's worth $8 million. For someone like Thomas, I think he's worth more than that. I think he could be worth more, like even 9 or maybe even like 9.5. If we're talking a certain player. Like, Thomas is really underrated and really valuable to the Seattle Kraken. So, I'm going to put him, or Seattle Kraken, the St. Louis Blues. You can tell I'm very tired, but I'm going to put Thomas in great for now. I might change that. Again, this list is somewhat similar to what I wrote up before I did this, or before I started recording, but again, there are a few changes because I can't decide with some of these players, like where they could be. Kucherov is going in terrific. He makes 9.5. He's tied with Vasilevsky in point, but we'll go through Kucherov first. I think he has been awesome for Tampa. He is worth more than 9.5. Like, come on, he's worth like 10 10 plus, 11 plus. So I think Kucherov getting paid 9.5 is terrific. Might even be the best contract in the league. You could argue there with Kaprizov. Braden Point also gets paid 9.5. He's going in great, though, for me. I don't think that he's like a terrific deal or a steal. He could get 10. He could get 10, sure. But I don't think he's like severely underpaid for what he brings to Tampa. But he is a very good first-line center for sure. And then Vasilevsky, if we're talking the whole broad of his deal, it's terrific. Like if we're talking the whole broad perspective, the whole career of his contract, it's terrific. Right now, though, it might be in great, but I'm going to put it in terrific for now. I just think he has been terrific for Tampa with his money, and I think with getting paid 9.5 as a Conn Smythe winning goalie, a goalie who has won them back-to-back Stanley Cups, I think that you have to put him in terrific. He's honestly a steal in my opinion. Next up, Auston Matthews at a $13.25 million deal. Matthews is also going in terrific too. I think that he is a terrific player on a terrific deal. I think that's fine. Like if you're gonna put McKinnon, Draisaitl, and you're gonna put those guys in there, you got to put Matthews in there too. Like those are the three highest paid deals we've seen the last couple of seasons. So I think you got to put Matthews there and terrific as well. Mikhail Sergachev for Utah gets paid $8.5 million. I think it's a good deal. I think for what Shesterkin brings to, Sergachev, not Shesterkin, brings to, there's a lot of errors in this video, brings to the Utah lineup and is as an overall defenseman. I think it's a good contract. I don't think it's like great. He's not underpaid. I think he's just right. And I think for someone like him, I think he's fine with being in good. So I'm okay with that. Next up then, you have Elias Pettersson. He's going right now. Since he's gotten paid that deal, I think you got to put him in. No, I'll put him in great. I'll put him in great ahead of Robert Thomas. I think for Pettersson, he's on a great deal. I do think though that since he's gotten that deal, he has slacked a little bit. But for somebody of his caliber, getting paid the amount of money he has, I think that he is in a great contract. But again, you could argue down here. You honestly could. You could honestly argue that, and I really wouldn't disagree with you, to be honest. So I'm going to put him in great for now. Again, I'm going to switch around these once I pause here for a little bit. Jack Eichel is going right here. He makes $10 million. He should be paid more, arguably. I think it's still a great contract for what he brings. But again, never been a 100-point scorer. Never been I think above an 80-point player. So in my eyes, I think he goes in great for now, but still a really good player for Vegas, 100%. Down to our final three players here. First off, we have Alex Ovechkin, who's on a $9.5 million deal. He's going in great. I think for what Ovechkin brings to Washington, he's on a great deal. I think that for Ovi, he scores at a really good pace. I think that he's on a great deal. I think there's really no argument there, to be honest. And then we have a tie between the Winnipeg Jets' highest paid deals. You have Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuyck coming in at $8.5 million. Scheifele's going here. For me, I think he's on a good deal. I don't know if he's exceeded that as like a higher, like he should be paid more. But I'm going to put him in good for now. Hellebuyck is going like top three. He is top three, terrific contract. He is awesome. He should get paid what Shesterkin's getting paid, if we're being honest, in terms of value to him. So, yeah, Hellebuyck is on a terrific deal there for me. So, that's what I'm rounding up here with. All right, so this is what I have so far. I got to move my camera, actually. You have what I have here listed. And I'm going to go and just pause, look at this for a little bit, make some changes. I already know what I want to do. But again, you can tell that I'm struggling with this. This is hard. This is a hard list to do. This might be the hardest Tier Rank Tuesday we've done, but I'm going to do some changes. I'll be right back. Okay, so I looked at this for, I swear to God, maybe like a half hour. Like, I'm going to be honest. I texted some friends about how they felt about this. I think I got most of it right. I did move Bo Horvat down to solid because I don't think that I think he has lived up to his deal, but I think that he is a little bit overpaid. I moved Thomas down to good. I think putting him in great with all of these contracts, I think is like it's too, yeah. This is my opinion. I think that's the only two changes I made. I think everything else I kept the same. Like, again, I think apart from a few changes where I moved a couple of guys around, I think that everything else is relatively the same. So yeah, this is what I'm rolling with. This is every team's highest paid contract. Again, you're gonna see some players on here who are tied, some players who are on future deals. But I guess we'll go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. This is my highest paid contract tier list. And with that being said, that will do it for this week's Tier Rank Tuesday. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys very much for watching this segment of Tier Rank Tuesday. We've done about 5 of these so far. They have all done pretty good, so I really do appreciate the support. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to comment your thoughts down below. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Am I missing anybody? I don't think I am. Did I do any of this wrong? Let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to like if you liked the video and subscribe down below if you also liked it too. We're getting closer and closer to 3,000 subscribers. And regardless, that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.